Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I'm back be joined once again by Jimmy, Jake, Austin, and like always, Fluff.
Sir.
What's going on, yo?
What's up, beautiful people?
I think Jake and Austin kind of said at the same time, so in case there was some confusion there, that's what occurred.
I think so.
But like always, there's buttons on below. Feel free to click up the dev for a reason. Today's matchup, we got Austin taking on Jimmy. Austin's bringing back Cooler Mill while Jimmy's playing SS4 Towa. Guys, take it away.
Yeah. So, Austin, talk about the cooler side of the field. Simping for cooler again.
That's what I always do. Like, if you don't see me playing cooler, it's a rare day.
No, because you're playing Cell Surge.
Well, that was I played Cell Surge like 8 months ago. That was the last time I played it.
So,
but
still,
yeah.
I want the flame war in the comments about Cell Surge and how it's broken needs to be banned.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I played King Piccolo for a while, but nothing has really interested me besides I just like cooler, and nothing has interested me at all in the last few sets besides King Piccolo. So, but with cooler, it's just typical cooler stuff, where I pretty much play on your turn exclusively.
Also, I'd like to point out that you just laid out your entire field before mulliganing, before even rolling.
Yeah, no, we talked about that, and you're like, you can reset. I'm like, nope, I already did it. I just looked at my cards, like I can replace 2 of these, put life out.
I didn't know exactly. I was like, damn, that hand must have been real fucking good.
It wasn't.
I was like, all right, dude, whatever you say. I guess I'll take my mulligan. I'm gonna keep one, brother. You gonna keep your old damn hand? I'm struggling now. I'm already struggling before the game even started.
See, it's a mind game.
Oh yeah, sure.
I want you to think. Even though I told you that I messed up, I wanted you to think that I didn't mess up.
Yeah.
This was a very fun game, though. It had a lot of weird things like that kind of happen, but mostly because I haven't played in I come back once every 2 months. It feels like now.
Oh yeah, of course. You show up, cooler gets a new card. You'll show up and play it for a little bit, then dip out, and then never play again.
Mm-hmm.
When in 10 sets from now, when they release another cooler archetype, I'm sure you'll be back.
Yeah.
So I knew I was already on an uphill battle in this matchup just due to my deck requiring me to play battle cards to do really anything. So I knew that my my game plan had to be kill you quickly and overwhelm you.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably should have just started swinging into life immediately, but you were like, well, my unison's dead as soon as you played it, and I'm like, yeah, it is, brother.
I played it and I was like, pass turn. Shit.
I was like, because I stopped it, I was looking, I was like, you didn't plus on that. I was like, oh wait, it's a +0. That's right, I got you. So I was like, yeah, I'll just go ahead and go into the unison. I wanted to see a Vegeta early on, because I wanted to pressure you with crit, because I didn't want to give you a lot of cards in hand. Since cooler does draw quite a bit, it requires you to play battle cards to get the supplemental draw, and I have options against your battle cards. So I was thinking if I could just pressure the hand and make it so he can't pick up a lot of cards from life, then I have a chance of being able to kill before you drop something big on me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my thoughts going into this match. Have you played against SS4 Towa before?
Nope. That's why I've been playing cooler so much, because cooler's so familiar and comfortable with me, and I know it inside and out, that if I play against the new deck, I'm like, well, I know what I'm doing. So all I gotta focus is what you're doing.
Yeah, well, cooler's one of those evergreen style decks where as long as players are playing battle cards, cooler's fine.
Yeah.
Cooler has an option against that, and even if they have barrier, you have ignoring barrier options to deal with those.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah. But the name of the game with Towa is that it's all value play. all your shit costs 1 energy. It's all 16Ks. They all do a lot of stuff. Right there, I was just able to clear off the Frieza, 1-for-1 energy, and then I also get a double strike 16K out of it. Which also having the 16K, it gets around a lot of stuff like Wolfbang Fist, where most of the time you'd be able to clear off like something in AOD, since a lot of those are 15Ks. Now I get to stick around with my 1K and keep it for a following turn, unless you do have another option to neg it.
I really liked that. I had never even heard. Like I said, I don't keep up too much with the Dragon Ball meta right now, but I knew these cards came out. I knew what they did, but I didn't think ever about them being in Towa. So when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, I have no idea what I'm in for."
Right there, I activated Dark Dragon Ball and I peeped the top 7, just looking for either another Gohan, one of my Gohan negates, or a Vegeta. I did have the option of taking the blocker Goku, but I thought, I'm just going to leave it in the deck because he's going to mill me. I don't want to be taking cards that I don't need to be drawing. And most of the time I like playing that blocker Goku off of the Towa promo. Since its skills are negated, I can just pass turn and have the blocker, back on the card if I really need the protection, which I didn't think I was going to be needing the protection in Cooler, since you don't ever play anything on your turn.
Yeah, that's what I like about Cooler is if I see someone that's like not playing a lot of battle cards or being very passive, with this deck I do have options to be more aggressive. It's not, I don't do that often because I usually don't have that issue, but I prefer to play this deck really passive and just responsive. It's just too much fun.
Which I think that's the best way to play Cooler, and that's kind of the route that Cooler has been taking lately, and why I think it's doing so well, especially with these the meta slowing down so much. Cooler strives in that, and decks drawing an insane amount of cards. Like Soul Striker can usually averages a hand of like 16 cards.
Yeah.
So Cooler's having a field day in this current meta.
Yeah, even with decks that were more aggressive, I never saw too much of an issue. I just had to play a little more smart and have more like, have like sparking ready, and have like more of my 1-drop counters, like the is that all you've got, and then a lot of my coolers ready, the rivals, so that way I could -10 and -15 stuff everything. And I'm liking this slower pace meta because I don't have to like mulligan my hand for a ton of 1-drop counters or rivals.
I am slow on this untapping Gohan. So charging in this deck is one of the hardest things to do, since you don't ever want to charge a multicolor. You really want to charge mono black, and with a majority of your deck being multicolor, it becomes a hard choice sometimes, where it's like, do I charge my Overrealm in the hand or one of my super combos? And it's just that's where this deck kind of falls apart, at least in my mind, is that all the cards cost 1 to combo with, and they all have energy exhaust, and that's a majority of your deck. So while it can do some very degenerate things, like right there, you tap 1 energy for a double striker that removes a 4 or less off field. That's huge,
Yeah.
But it really lacks in other areas to make up for the value play of having everything be a 1-drop in the deck.
Yeah.
And here comes a really fun turn.
This was so goofy, and I love it so much. So
I heard you guys hollering about this when it happened.
Yeah, so he plays Bardock counterplay to get rid of that cooler. I play another cooler. He plays another Bardock, and I have a 3rd cooler in hand. So I just play it, and I just minus the 2 Bardocks. I thought he was going to have a 3rd Bardock, but...
I had the one in the top here, yeah.
God, I was laughing so hard. It was so funny. And then, I think the next attack he hits me with, it's like I pulled for my life the 4th cooler. And I was like, are you kidding me?
I'm used to you having, you mulliganing hard for coolers. I've had that experience in the past, but I was like, okay, it's turn 3. Like, he hasn't drawn a ton. He probably doesn't have 3 coolers in hand. Like, I think I'm golden. I'll just keep countering this shit. But I was able to board 2 bodies, but you did get to mill me 3. And I just didn't want to deal with the cooler on your turn. I didn't want to deal with the double strike, especially since I couldn't combo with any of the cards in my hand.
Yeah, that was a nice secret ID.
Yeah, it's easier just to slam secret ID and, Plus, you were nice enough to mill me 3 cards to pay for that ID.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm a people person.
Yeah, you're really helping a homie out.
Yeah, got to make it fair.
And good restraint, not awakening on that secret ID swing either, Austin, and saving the energy for your turn.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've been fairly good at, because early on, like, I'd want to awaken whenever I could or something. Like, I was just so, like, I can awaken now, and I'd do it, but it's, I think now, like, two turns ahead of, like, okay, I need to have this prepared. I can do this for this turn, and knowing like what I wanted to do, I can't remember if it was this turn or next turn. I was like, yeah, no, I need to keep this awakening ready.
Yeah, which cooler is a deck that it doesn't really need to awaken at any point in the game. It can stay on its front side and do exactly what it does on the back side. It has its win condition built in on both sides of the leader, that you can literally stay at 8 life the entire game and be completely fine and not hurt because of it.
It's very nice. It's very flexible that way. You don't have to awaken to make your game actually go.
Yeah, which is huge. You could argue that a lot of decks that were more battle card focused doesn't require the leader, that the leader's just there because it's either generically good or gives a specific archetype like leverage. But there's not many decks where the leader is just the win con. The text on the leader is the win con.
And I've never truly cared about awakening with cooler. It's always like, okay, do I need the extra 5k, or do I want to save that, for the front side auto draw, the back side auto draw, and the awaken draw, drawing 3 cards whenever I can do that.
So to comment on this turn, when I played the counter Gohan, you paused for response, and the only counterplay that popped in my head was Exploiting Weakness Vegeta. And when I'm -4 here, I said, call in window 1. You stopped, thought about it, said, no calling in window 1. So I was like, sucks, because I'm going to have to mill these. But I was thinking, if I can get the Exploiting Weakness out of your hand, I have 4 energy, you're at 3 life, I could very easily go for game.
Yikes. This is huge.
Yeah. So I was willing to take this mill because I had enough to go for game in hand. So while it is a super risky play, I was willing to take this.
Sometimes you just have to.
Yeah. And we'll comment more on this later, but I do start digging as well, which is another very risky play against a cooler list.
It's I remember I played against another variant of this deck, and I remembered the Shenron Unison, summoning a lot of cards. And I remember Towa searching the deck quite a bit, the leader searching the deck and searching everything, and the balls searching for things. So I knew you did a lot of deck searching and pulling and like digging and stuff. So I was like, you know what? If I can just play smart, play passive, don't get greedy, and just think, I'll probably be okay, even though I have no idea what your end game is.
Also, I was pointing out there that I missed my draw for you negging out my field. I get a draw if a Xeno card is removed, but I am more than willing not to take that draw. I probably could have in that situation chose to instead of playing all three, just play one or two to bait the exploiting, so I don't have to mill myself as much. But I was afraid that you would allow me to play them, and then you had another response to deal with my massive field, and I basically got 0 value off of my Shinron minus.
Yeah, I didn't have it this night, but I run also the Go Hanks units, which is also a massive board wipe, and then I run a few of these, and then I had in my hand one of the other coolers. I had a couple Beerus combos. I had the pseudo combo, the red blue Goku, or if you have a red blue extra card in the drop area, it's 0 plus 10,000 combo power. So, and then I had the championship arrival cooler. So I had a few things to like answer if I needed to, but I was really waiting for a bigger board to get all I could out of exploitive. Here's the Awaken at 2 life.
So I had 2 lines of play. The first line of play was just beat you down. I do have Mirror Crater Absorbed in hand. So beat you down with my 1-drops as long as I can. Empty your hand as much as possible. And then at least get 1 damage through if possible. Then drop Crater Absorbed. Or just go tall on a double striker. Which will require me to dig for my Kai. I run East Kai in this list. And I knew I milled 1 earlier, ended up warping it off to play Secret ID. So I was basically praying that it was in the deck. So I start going for the dig, which this Vegeta is at 6,000 at this moment. And also I was still hoping that you would just take the 1 damage and that would allow me to just drop Crater Absorbed and swing out on that. And since the auto gives him the power from the warp, I knew you couldn't neg him out flat and kill him. So you would still have to combo out, a majority of your hand while also spending energy to neg down I don't think we added it up, but he probably is setting at around probably 60 to 70,000 on swing.
Then here I do that 1 plus 10,000 Goku. I didn't have any red blues in the drop area, and I was so mad. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to take this. And then this cracked me up. What's coming up? This is so good.
So here comes the Crater play.
I say no to Gates.
And then I'm like, oh shit, how many cards I got here, homie? Shit. Okay, Human Extinction Attack. Here comes the chopper. Never mind, fucking Human Extinction Attack. Mill myself out. You don't even get the fucking win. Give me your damn entry pack. You don't get the win. You're banned.
Wait, what?
Get out of my shop.
Look, that was so funny.
Quick question: it wasn't your life. Where was the chopper?
So I let some of my homies that I love and respect, shout out my boy Chase, shout out my boy Jordan. They're really high on this deck. I'm pointing it out. Hey, yo, look at this Kai. Look at my life. Look at the rest of my deck. You built it
earlier.
Yeah. I let my homies play this deck. I run 2 Kais in this list. I knew I milled the 1. I was praying the other one was in my life. Know where the other one is? Probably on the floor of this nice establishment called Fusion. In Lexington.
That was
the card wasn't in my deck box.
That was the level 2 Judge one too, wasn't it?
Yeah, the level 2 Supreme Kai promo that does totally exist. You hear that, Chase? What? You're buying me another one of those cards that do exist.
I thought it was a Champa level 2 you had in the deck.
No.
Okay.
I run Kai in that list. I run Kai.
Oh man, still okay.
Fat Kitty only goes in decks that I like.
Fair enough. Well, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below and on the screen while Fluff does the outro.
Man, sucks that Jimmy lost cards, or someone lost cards for Jimmy. Yeah, Chase, buy new ones. Anyway, videos on the screen, click them. Hopefully they're things you haven't seen. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Any suggestions, things you'd like to see, general things you'd like to see us do on the channel. We're always open to hear it. As always, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And as always, fluff out.